Hello everyone and welcome back to another edition of Elite Sports Shooting. My name is Jeff. Today we're going to do a cleaning video and we're going to be cleaning the Benelli Supernova. Before we get going, I do want to give a shout out to the GUGULUZA and Jielisi Gun Socks. Every firearm in my safe has a gun sock. I try to take the best care of my firearms. They are an asset, so I want to make sure that I cover everything. So anyways, we're going to just jump right into it. So we got the Benelli Supernova pump action shotgun. I'm always going to make sure that it's empty, that we're going to prove that it's safe, that it is unloaded. We're going to verify the feeding path, which I've already done. So we're going to get right to it. We're going to take off the fore-end cap. And then we are going to just move the pump slide a little bit so we can take the barrel off. And I'm going to set it down on the ground or on the table. So I always make sure that I do have an old towel or something. There's a lot of other things that you can use. I like using the stuff like reusing and trying to recycle as much as possible. So there's a dimple on the end of the fore-end cap, and we're going to take the two pins and punch them out on that side. You might need a little bit of a punch to get it out a little further. Then on the inside of the fore-end cap, there's a little kind of a lip to grab them. Now remember which one is which, because one is longer than the other. The one just above the trigger is shorter than the one at the front of the trigger guard. So you can actually see the difference if I hold them side by side. You know, one's a 1/4 inch longer. So make sure that when you set them down in order. Now pull the pump slide forward, and now we can pull out the whole trigger guard. We're just going to pull it straight up and out, and take the trigger guard and set it down. Now this is a little bit more tricky. You got to depress the rotating bolt head completely to get it out, and it's a little tricky at first. Probably better just to take the fore-end pump slide right out, but you gotta push that rotating bolt right back to get the front out, or else you'll never get it out. So you get your bolt in hand and your entire receiver. Now just looking in here, I have put close to 500 rounds through this, and there really isn't that much carbon buildup, but we're going to clean it anyways. So I want to make sure that I spray really well inside the receiver. Now the receiver is composite, but there is a fair bit of metal inside there. It's metal lined. So we're going to clean all the debris and corrosion, anything that could build up in there. I'm just going to release the trigger and just have a look down in here. Like, there really isn't any carbon buildup inside the trigger group. Yeah, there's nothing. I'm not even going to spray inside there. Maybe a little bit. Just a little bit. Not too much. They really make these shotguns pretty user friendly. Cleaning is part of using them. So, and then I'm just going to reset the trigger so it's ready to shoot, and I'll put the safety on. Now I'm going to spin the choke tube out. Yeah, the choke tube is pretty dirty. Yeah, there's a fair bit of carbon buildup all right on that choke tube. So we're going to clean that right off. And then we're going to clean the bore. So I am wearing rubber gloves. I do have quite a few of them. I got a whole case of them. I don't like to get the solvents on my hands. If you're doing this once in a blue moon, fantastic, then you may or may not use. I would still suggest using rubber gloves, but I do this a lot, so I don't want these chemicals on my hands. Alright, so let's wipe the slides off. Now it lubes up the slide just a little bit, so I probably don't have to put any gun oil on the slides. Wipe everything off down inside this receiver, and I'm just checking to see how much debris, how much carbon buildup is in there. I don't have to worry about the receiver rusting because it's composite, but I always clean the choke tube. Not the choke tube, the magazine tube. Wow. So I'm going to take my bristle brush and run it down right there, and I have a toothbrush. I'm going to make sure that I get those threads for the choke tube good and clean, because there is a lot of carbon buildup on the choke. Yeah, that's pretty dirty. So I'm going to do that again. Something maybe a little bit better than just a piece of paper towel. Okay, and basically I'm going to clean it. I'm going to wipe it until it's not dirty anymore. Normally I would have music to this. It's to me, this is part of the fun of shooting, is the cleaning afterwards. Call me weird. And if you're a patch guy, just put patches in there. Run it back and forth. Now that was pretty clean, but now it's dirty. So we're going to run another piece of paper towel down through there. And we're going to push it all the way through. It's good and tight. There, that looks really good now. It's always good to use a good light. That's why I like the under the cabinet lighting. And I wrecked a pair of gloves. So now we're going to put her all back together. First, oh, I forgot to do the bolt. Doesn't need a whole lot. Take the toothbrush, get onto all the little nooks and crannies. Get all that carbon buildup off. Alright, so to put it back in, same thing, you gotta press down on the rotating bolt and push her all the way back so it will drop in. If you don't have it all the way back, she's not going to drop in for you. There. Now it's in the right channel, and it won't come out unless you push that rotating bolt back. So once you get the hang of it, once you do it once or twice, it gets easy. Then we're going to put the pump, the fore-end grip with the slide rails, and they go basically back into these two little channels on each side, and they got to go simultaneously or else it just doesn't go at all. And then it goes into the sliding bolt. So now it rolls back or slides back and forth. Now I have not put the choke tube back in. I'm going to do that last. Now we'll wipe down the trigger group a little bit more. And it's still pretty good. It's got to slide in the front end first and then just butts up. Now these pins are a one-way pin. They only go one way. And you may have to get them started just by wiggling it a little bit. Take a condenser. And of course, I messed that up. You had a 50-50 chance of screwing it up, and I screwed it up. And it's going to happen. I've done this a couple of times with this, just to take it apart, put it back together. And eventually, you do get it right. Take the condenser, push the pump slide all the way forward, take your barrel and just slide it over the magazine tube and into the receiver at the same time. I always pull the trigger release and pull everything down. Take your fore-end cap, put it back on. Of course, I ripped my glove. And we're almost there, but we gotta clean the choke tube. So, and it's pretty darn dirty. It was almost black. We're going to spray this out one more time. I have been looking at some extended choke tubes. There's several different brands. Once I kind of make a decision on which one I want, that's the one I'll promote. There's a few out there. There we go, nice and shiny again. See, it was black. And I'm going to push this paper towel through it just to make sure the inside is nice, and there we go. I think we're good. So I'm going to take a little bit of gun oil for the threads, and quite literally I'm just going to put a dab on top, and then it just wraps itself around. I just take my fingers and finish smearing it around. I do have a choke wrench somewhere. There you have it. We have just cleaned the Benelli Supernova. I'm not sure how long it took us because I had some errors putting it back together. But yeah, it's really not that complicated. I hope this helps somebody. I really do like these these tutorial videos. I do like helping people, and I think this is a great way to help people. So, if you like the content of the video, please give me that thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And I will put a list of the products that I do use in my description below with links to the product. I do get a lot of stuff off of Amazon. I do try to get things as cheap as possible. So anyways, that's it for me. Thank you very much for watching my video, and always remember to keep both eyes on your target. Thank you, everyone.